Hi, my name is Micah Searstad of CalBarrier. CalBarrier is an Aerobarrier provider in the state of California for both residential and non-residential buildings, and we're proud to be sponsors of the Green Technology Sustainable Facilities Forum. Now, for nearly a half century, our state, California, has been a leader in energy efficiency efforts, and California continues to have the lowest per capita energy consumption in the United States. In order to continue that success story, we need to seal California's future. As spelled out in the California Energy Efficiency Strategic Plan, the state has ambitious goals for the development of zero net energy commercial buildings. These include that by 2030, all new commercial construction will be zero net energy. Also, by 2030, 50% of existing commercial buildings will be retrofitted to zero net energy. And in just 5 years, by 2025, 50% of new major renovations of state buildings will be zero net energy. To get there, we have got to get commercial building envelopes as airtight as possible. As a Department of Energy zero net energy rated product, this is where Aerobarrier fits into sealing California's future. We need to answer the following questions. First, what is Aerobarrier? Aerobarrier is one of the few technologies that can reach building air leakage levels that both meet and exceed current and future code compliance requirement, including passive buildings. Aerobarrier is a self-guided building sealing technology. What does that mean? It finds the leaks while simultaneously sealing the leaks. By pressurizing the building and emitting acrylic caulk and fine mist on the inside of the building, escaping air carries the sealant with it to the penetrations. The Aerobarrier sealant builds up and seals any holes or cracks from as large as a half-inch gap to as small as a human hair, all within the matter of a few hours. Here's the cool part. When Aerobarrier is applied, you can see the building leakage reduction happening in real time. The Aerobarrier sealant is a water-based acrylic caulk that maintains flexibility and meets ASTM and NFPA standard testing. Why do you need Aerobarrier? While independent construction components of a commercial building may meet air tightness requirements, building envelope air sealing consistency presents a challenge when these components are assembled in the field. Aerobarrier by CalBarrier can remove potential air sealing problems quickly, efficiently, and economically. In new construction, even at final, where there has been an envelope testing failure, time and again, Aerobarrier has succeeded in turning building envelope leakage failures into successes. Can Aerobarrier be used on existing buildings? Yes. Surface protection of permanently installed horizontal areas would need to be applied, but the sealant will not adhere to ceilings, walls, or window surfaces. Now, in a renovation project, Aerobarrier excels. With renovations, because of not starting with an air sealing plan from the start of construction. In other words, you're dealing with the building you've been dealt. Sealing an existing envelope is a challenge that Aerobarrier overcomes with ease. What are the benefits of Aerobarrier? Well, we've already talked about using Aerobarrier for code compliance. But Aerobarrier can save money and save time. HVAC equipment can be right-sized to a controlled envelope leakage level. In commercial buildings, reduced leakage pays for itself quickly in building operating costs. What about indoor air quality? With outside air for ventilation coming through required MERV 13 filters and not just through any opening in an envelope, indoor air quality goals can be more easily achieved. Indoor air quality means a healthy building. A tight Aerobarrier envelope combined with proper balanced ventilation produces a work environment that puts the occupant's health as a priority. For the builder, Aerobarrier can save both time on the construction schedule and save on cost of meeting your air sealing strategy. Addressing air leakage can take days and be very labor intensive. Aerobarrier can be applied within hours, not days, and with minimal construction schedule interruptions and at a fraction of the cost. And finally, compartmentalization. Mixed occupancy non-residential and residential buildings, as well as non-res buildings with multiple different departments or companies within the same envelope, separating their environments, their conditioned air, their air quality, their sound, their pests. This is vital. In what applications can Aerobarrier be applied for compartmentalization? Office complexes, schools, hospitals, government buildings, multi-family complexes. These are just to name a few. For example, imagine keeping school classrooms or parts of hospitals isolated from one another, preventing the transfer of pests, smells, sounds, energy, and infectious diseases. Some of the greatest area of leakage are through the interior walls between sections of buildings. With Aerobarrier by CalBarrier, we create the work environment you expect to make your buildings profitable. Please contact CalBarrier for Aerobarrier consulting and scheduling. We are CalBarrier, sealing California's future.